friendlies, welcome back to my life living in an RV. We're back from Canada. I've been in New York for quite a while. I crossed the border a while ago, and I just want to update you today on some things that have been going on with my RV. And today what I'm going to take you through in this video is I got my air conditioner replaced. I had someone take a look at my converter and test it to make sure my AC converter was working correctly. He checked all the wiring. I had some issues with my refrigerator in some of the hottest, most humid temperatures, so I had some information about that. But also, the biggest thing I want to share with you, number one, is remember those batteries I bought in Alberta that I was kind of skeptical about because they put their own label on the batteries? They died. They didn't even last 2 months and they died. I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about that when we go through some electrical things in the video. And then after I got those batteries replaced, I literally had to buy 2 brand new 12-volt batteries. And again, I'll talk about that a little bit more. But right after that happened, my inverter died. I replaced that, and I'll show you that here in a minute too.
There ain't nobody gonna do it for you. Got to find your own.
I spent the night in a campground because today I'm getting my air conditioner replaced. I'm getting my refrigerator fixed. So my refrigerator has been not doing well at all in hot weather, and I had somebody look at it. Everything in the back is fine. The cooling system, everything is fine in the back. But another problem I'm having is that it doesn't work on AC power. If I'm plugged in, it won't work on AC. It'll revert back to propane, and the inside light won't go on. So I'm going to get that fixed today. The guy I had look at it, this is called the eyebrow. He thinks that there's something wrong with this. So yeah, see the light, you can't see, but the light doesn't go off. And oh, here, I'll show you. I'm plugged in. I'm plugged in. See, it says no AC. Even though it's plugged in. The outlet's fine. I tested the outlet. The outlet is fine. Yeah, everything in the back end is fine. So hopefully it's just this eyebrow panel. He thinks it is, especially since the light's not going off too. And I'm getting a new awning today. I ordered a new awning last year to try to change myself with a family friend. But we never got around to it. I think I told you that story because when I unrolled the awning, I realized that it wasn't ripped. I thought it was ripped. But I do have a new awning, and it's a lot of work, and it's dangerous. People can lose fingers. And so as long as I'm getting work done today, I have the new awning. It's not canvas, vinyl. So I'm going to go ahead and get that done today, too. I already ordered the air conditioner. I had it sent to the RV repair guy. So he came highly recommended from a family friend from near where I grew up. He's mobile, and they love him. He's been working with them for years, but we're not in his service area. So I drove a couple hours here yesterday to be here, and I delivered the air conditioner to him because he's got a tractor. It's 80 pounds, so he's got a tractor. He can put it up on the roof. So I ordered it from some RV guy some RV service center. I'll put the link here. I've ordered stuff from them before. Really good. I really like them. Actually, I ordered a new thermistor because I thought the thermistor in the refrigerator, and I'll insert that here. I thought that might be the problem, but I changed that out and it didn't fix it. RV refrigerators are notorious for not performing very well in high heat, and especially heat and humidity. They don't do well at all. In fact, Jason told me that they get the most calls in the middle of summer about refrigerators. They just don't do well, period. And I had a really hard time on the hottest days, 90 degrees here, 90% humidity, getting my refrigerator below like 47 degrees during the day. It was pretty bad. My freezer, not so bad. So I bought a thermistor thinking that maybe it was an issue with the thermistor, which is the thermostat. I ordered that first. I replaced it. Didn't make a difference. The other thing that I ended up doing was to install a couple fans in the back. So I installed a little fan in the back, and I don't know if the fan is strong enough, but that didn't really help much either. But just know that if you're going to be in hot and especially humid weather, your refrigerator is not going to perform very well. Freezer was fine. Freezer was below freezing the whole time, but not necessarily as cold as it should be. Like, it's 3 degrees like right now. I think it was 15, 20 degrees, but the refrigerator was especially hard. And the other thing is, if you are going to be using your refrigerator in the heat of summer, you're going to have to get groceries more often, because the more you pack the refrigerator, the warmer it is in there. Air can't circulate. I even tried to fan inside the refrigerator. That didn't help. So you just kind of have to not buy a lot of groceries at a time. And that's what I do. I supply up, I buy a ton of produce, jam pack the refrigerator with produce, and then there's no airflow and all my produce went bad. So those are a couple tips for dealing with your refrigerator in the heat. I'm waiting on the call for him. He had another call this morning, and then I'm gonna go up and get all that work done and come back to the where am I? Shenango Valley State Park. I grew up like a mile from here, so and then I'll stay here and then go back tomorrow. So, all right, that's the plan today. I'm gonna get a new air conditioner. I can't live with the way things are. Last year, you might remember, I got to Pahrump in late September and it was still 104 degrees. That's when I discovered my air conditioner didn't work. I went and plugged in just so that I could use my air conditioner, and it didn't blow cold air. And I did all the troubleshooting. I tested the compressor. I cleaned all the fins. I used a lot of YouTube videos. I cleaned all the fins, and they actually weren't that dirty. I've never cleaned them. They weren't that dirty, surprisingly, considering all the wind and dust I'm in. And then I tested the compressor, and the compressor's bad. And I used RV Repair Lady. She's really good, and I love supporting other women, especially other women in mechanical trades. So I'll put a link to her channel below. Go ahead and check her out. She walked me through checking the compressor. She told me that if this one thing is wrong, you need a new air conditioner, and the compressor is bad. And I was able to test it myself using her video. So thank you. Great help. All right, so here we are. We're lifting it. He got it all torn apart. So, oh my gosh, look how easy that was. Okay, full disclosure, that was the second time. But all he had to do was push it to unglue it. And this is Jason, by the way. What's the name of your business again?
RV Care Mobile Repair.
And what areas do you cover?
About an hour radius out of Binghamton, New York.
Okay, cool. I'm excited that I get to have a new air conditioner. Apart because I checked the compressor.
Yep, I see.
What is that?
There's pieces up here to hold the shroud on.
Yeah, I probably didn't put it all back together because I knew you were going to replace it.
That is really dirty. My toolbox.
Really?
Yeah.
Decided it would probably be better to come in from the back. I love that everybody around here has tractors. Everybody's got a Kubota. I know a lot of you are probably asking why I didn't get a 12-volt air conditioner that runs off my battery for boondocking. Well, I've had several requests for sponsorships to get a 12-volt air conditioner for free and do a video about it. I did a lot of research, and I just didn't think it was the best option for me right now with the battery power I have for my house batteries. I only have 2 golf cart batteries. I have about 200 amp hours, 12 volts. I don't think that would be enough. Cool. And with the Bluettis that I carry, it just makes sense for me to stick with AC for now.
Are fully tightened down, then it needs to be a new compression gasket put on it.
Oh, okay.
Drop the tractor and I'll show you.
So it doesn't have to be glued or anything. It's got compression gaskets. Oh yeah, that makes sense actually. And then they're just tightened down from inside. Super easy. The hardest part is just getting it up there, which if you have a tractor, it's not that hard.
These yellow tabs tell you how far to tighten it down initially.
Oh.
So, but yeah, they're just...
Oh. And that's, so that's the only thing that goes over the whole,
Yep,
okay.
Yep, and then the 4 bolts that I'm fighting with right now go through here.
Okay.
And then there's a baffle that goes in between here and the camper to keep the fresh air intake away from the cold air.
Okay.
Yeah, so that you're not sucking that cold air right directly back in and freeze up your AC.
Cool. All right.
So, yeah, but listen. Hear that?
That's exactly what it sounded like when it rained.
Yep. So that's a sign of bad bearings.
Okay. So not only was the compressor bad, I also had bad bearings. It was loud when it ran. Yeah, so I look forward to the new one. We'll go test it out in the state park later. Plus, they're so new and untested. I just didn't want to spend all that time and energy that I would have had to pay to get it installed for a big unknown. I'd rather put in something that I am familiar with. This is the same air conditioner I had, only the Plus version. A little bit of an upgrade and newer. The big test. The compressor hasn't kicked in yet. It will. See, a little rough. Like everything else in my life, held together with duct tape. See, and this is starting to rip.
We're safe. Anti-finger remover.
Yep. Demo is fun. Wow. Here.
That corner down there you can do.
Oh, here we go.
Corner there.
Here we go. I didn't get it all. Here, we'll get the last bit. Fingers out of the way. Whoa, bye-bye, old awning. It's been real.
Okay, you ready, Ryan? Watch your fingers. Okay.
So, you guys, if you've never watched this on YouTube, this thing right here has a ton of tension in it. So that's why he pinned it down. And that's why I chose not to do it myself. Because that tension, as he just said, can, well, you didn't hear that, can take off fingers. So they put a pin in it to lock it. Okay.
This particular awning has a gutter mount here and a gutter mount here just for this piece of metal.
Right. And I know when I ordered one, I didn't order it. It was like way $100, $200 more to get it to fit with the gutter. So I figured it wasn't important. Okay, it is important. It's a guard for weather and rain and sun to help extend the life of your awning. But frankly, I don't know how much longer I'm going to be in this RV. So I don't need it to last another 10 or 20 years. That's what I'm thinking at this point.
So we got one that's way too long. We cut your awning off.
That's okay. We'll
we can order up another one
yeah.
from Amazon, and I recommend going with a shade trail instead of that one. And then what's the length? We'll have to measure this one out, and you can just...
I measured it.
The blue fade, 13 foot.
That's not what I ordered. Wow. He is amazing. If anybody is within an hour of Binghamton, he spent hours with me. I just had to say, hey, this is weird. Hey, what's this? And he checked everything for me. So he checked my converter. My converter is fine. Remember I had that issue a couple months ago. He checked all the wiring. It turns out that fuse I changed. Oh, look at that. Ta-da! Look at that. Was for the old converter that came with the RV for the one solar panel, so it didn't have anything to do with charging things. I think what was wrong is that those batteries were bad and they just weren't charging. All right, I think this is a good place to stop and tell you the story about my faulty batteries that I bought in Alberta. I had to change my batteries out in Alberta. My old batteries, which were 4 years old, were dead, so I had to get new batteries. And I did some research online, and I found this place called Rockies. They had really, really good reviews. I probably should have dug a little bit deeper and read the reviews better, but it looked like they had 5 stars. I read the first couple of reviews, and I was like, okay, they're going to be great. So they have their own label on the batteries. The reviews here are excellent. 5-star reviews. So, but they've got their own label on the battery. And I asked, and I said, so they're your brand batteries? And he's like, yes, ma'am. I'm like, but you didn't make the batteries. And he paused for a long time. He's like, well, we don't manufacture them. I should have asked. I'll ask who manufactures them when I pay. It was weird to me. Why would you put your own label? I mean, from a marketing perspective, I was kind of like, yeah, okay, I can see why you might do that from a marketing perspective. But at the same time, I just had a weird feeling about it. And you might remember, and I can't remember how much of this I filmed, but for several days after I got the new batteries installed, and I'm already several hundred miles away, they were acting funny. It took 2 days for them to get to a float charge, which means they're completely full. And it might have been cloudy and smoky, but still, I was driving on open highway. It should not have taken 2 days. But I was like, well, you know, they're brand new. Maybe it just takes longer to charge. And yeah, it's been smoky. But since I got them replaced and I've been looking at how my new batteries are performing again, even in cloudy weather, even in fog, they're not taking 48 hours to charge. So that was the first sign that they were faulty, that they were defective, and there might have been something wrong with it, but I was just writing it off as maybe something else. And then even when I plugged in, they didn't seem to be acting right. They just never seemed to act right. I kept getting this equalization flash on my controller, on my blue sky controller. The last few weeks of the batteries that I had them, I kept getting this all day long, equalization, which just means that it's having a problem getting up to something that is normal as far as like a normal charge or a normal flow, and then it's not reading correctly, and it was just equalizing like all day long until I unplugged it and plugged it back in a few times, or I had to plug something into the inverter, and the inverter, if you don't know, an inverter converts, which is confusing, DC power into AC power so that you can plug something in like your regular 110. So you need 110 alternating current in order to run all your appliances, anything that has a plug on it, and your battery is direct current, and so you have to invert direct current into alternating current in order to be able to use your AC power. So I would have to turn on my inverter and plug something in, and that sometimes might have stopped the crazy equalization blinking light. Sometimes it did, and sometimes it didn't. But here was the final weird thing about these batteries. The final thing that made me realize they were defective is, and I think the first time it happened, I had already been back in New York. They weren't even a couple months, or maybe, yeah, they weren't even a couple months old at this point. I would, at night, go into bed, 10 o'clock at night, the batteries are reading 12.7, which is kind of high for as much as I use them, even for brand new batteries. But I was like, oh, these are really charged. They're really full. They're reading 12.7. They're holding a charge. That's really good. 2 o'clock in the morning, I get up to go to the bathroom, and I don't know how I noticed it. I guess I just look at my batteries all the time. And plus they were acting up. So I got up at 2 o'clock in the morning, 2:30 in the morning to check my batteries. 10.8. That's a dead battery. I didn't even see that on my old batteries that I replaced. 10.8. I'm like, oh, and you know what? My fan was on because it was hot. So my bathroom fan was on. I'm like, that is really weird. It's a fantastic fan. They don't have that much of a draw. So I turned the fan off. It came up to like 11.4. And that's where it stayed at like around 11. And then I get up the next morning and the sun is out and my solar is on. Well, actually, I must have been boondocking. Yeah, I must have been boondocking because it wasn't plugged in. My solar is on and it's up to 13 in the morning. 8 o'clock in the morning, it's up to 13. I'm like, that is freaking weird. Like, what is going on? And I'm like, okay, it must have just been a fluke. Maybe, I don't know. Sometimes just humidity and weather does weird things. It must just be a fluke. So the next night, I check it. Same thing. 2:30 in the morning. It's 12:07 when I go to bed. I am running things on it after dark and it's performing fine. 2:30 in the morning, dead. 10.8, 10.8, 10.4, 11.4, dead battery. And everything was off. There was no fan on. The only thing that's on is my refrigerator. My refrigerator internal light won't go off, but it doesn't have that much of a draw. I even turned my refrigerator off to see if it would make a difference, and it didn't. So 2:30 every morning, I'm getting a dead battery. Weird. Like, okay, well, this is a problem. So then it doesn't happen for a while. I get up every night, I check my battery, my batteries are fine, they're staying at like 12.5 overnight, they're fine. I'm like, okay, some weird fluke, who knows what. My friend Christy came and spent a couple days with me, and we're sleeping, and I hear her all of a sudden, she's like, what's that beeping? What's that beeping? And I get up, and my refrigerator is showing that the battery voltage is too low and it won't work. The battery was down to 10.4 again. And so I turned off the refrigerator because it wouldn't run because my batteries were too low. And that's it. My batteries are dead. And it happened again and again and again. And it was always at 2:30 in the morning. So weird. Go to bed, the battery's at 12.7, 2:30 in the morning, they're down to 12.5. And I kept thinking, there's got to be a draw. There's got to be something drawing on them. But there's nothing on. Even if I turned the refrigerator off, even if all my fans were off, I had no phantom draws. Nothing. There was nothing that could have been drawing on them. So these batteries were defective. So I went to Albany, actually to Interstate in Albany, New York, and got 2 new Interstate batteries, which are the ones that I took out in Alberta. My old batteries that lasted 4 years were Interstate. So I went to Interstate, and they only sell the batteries in New York State unless they have a full-time licensed mechanic on duty. They can't install them for you. I didn't even have them check the batteries. I don't know if they would have. I could have. I don't know. At that point, I just didn't want to deal with it. Just take the soup. There's something wrong with them. Obviously, there's something wrong with them. I get my new Interstate batteries in. Within 2 hours, they're floating. And that the night before, so I was dropping her off at some relatives of hers in Albany. The night before, 2 o'clock in the morning, they were down to 10.4. So nothing changed. I went up to Vermont from there, and that's in next week's video. With the brand new batteries, I haven't had that problem since. They get full when they should get full, with enough sun and with enough being plugged in. They're getting full. There is no more mysterious going down to 10.4 in the middle of the night for no freaking reason. My batteries have been acting as batteries should ever since then. So the only conclusion is that Rockies sold me defective batteries, period. And you know what? I mean, they say they have a 1-year warranty. According to the reviews, that's shit. I would have had to pay something anyway. And how am I going to get a warranty? I mean, I suppose I could have called. I'm just not patient enough. I just would rather not deal with it at all. I'm like 2,000 miles away at this point. What am I going to do? They're going to take my word for it. I suppose I could have called, but I didn't. But yeah, so those batteries were defective. So I wasted $500 on those stupid defective batteries. So buyer beware. So I got my new batteries installed, and everything is working great. And about 2 weeks later, my inverter died. When it rains, it pours. My inverter that I had installed, gosh, probably 8 years ago, and it was 1,000 watt, and it wasn't a pure sine wave inverter. And you know, it was cheap, but I went ahead and installed a Renogy 2,000 watt pure sine wave inverter. It is a little bit of a bigger draw than the 1,000 watts, but not too bad. And I had help drilling holes. Did you know that there are drill bits you can buy that drill right into solid steel? I didn't know that. So my mom's partner has like all the tools. So it's been really helpful. He drilled holes in the front of my battery. Remember when I had the old smaller cables, I just had the step kind of sitting on top of them with some plastic to protect the cable a little bit. Well, now I have holes drilled in. However, I needed to order longer cables so that I could get this away from the door. Those longer cables have thicker eyelet things on them, and the holes that we drilled aren't big enough, so I'm waiting to get back to that, and we'll drill bigger holes so that I can get that all connected properly and put back away from the door so that it's not getting all the dust and dirt and foot traffic and everything like that. Let me show you. Look how nice that is. So yeah, drill bits, he said, to cut through sheet metal, cut through that solid steel, And they're good for these wires, but I have the new longer wires. Oh, here we go. So here are the new wires. So this part right here, a little bit thicker, so it won't fit. So yeah, you know what? I did think about not replacing my inverter and just using my Bluettis instead, but that is, I have a lot going on right now, and that would take a little bit of reconfiguration inside my RV to be able to fit the Bluettis. I need like an AC 240 size to be able to run my RV life, and that would mean reconfiguring, probably taking out this chair. I'd have to run solar wires through my walls so that I wouldn't have to bring the Bluetti in and out every time I need to charge it up. I could just put the panels out and charge it. That would be great. So yeah, that was just a little bit more than I wanted to deal with right now, but it's definitely something that you could do. The other thing is, why didn't I just use Bluetti instead of replacing my house batteries? Because my RV came with all of these systems all connected, including being able to charge my batteries when I'm plugged in, running my refrigerator, running my lights. That again, that would take a lot of rewiring, putting in a different inverter, and that would take more than I am currently able to do, just time-wise, logistically, and material-wise, and things. I just don't want to tear apart the inside of my RV at this point in my life. I've got too much going on. But yeah, that definitely is something that I could do. And yeah, you know what? I am still relying very heavily on Bluettis for backup power source. And let's talk more about that here. I've already found the perfect Bluettis to power my life, including my brand new air conditioner, so I can run air conditioning off grid. Have you found the perfect Bluetti for you yet? If you haven't, now is the perfect time to think about it, because Prime Day deals are happening starting tomorrow. There's going to be huge deals on Bluetti. So whether you're just looking for something super portable, like the Elite 30 that you can take with you almost anywhere, you just want to grab it and go, throw it in the car. If you're going camping, you want to keep your electronics charged. The Bluetti Elite 30 is 600 watts and 288 watt hours. So it's got two 110 outlets, and it's got USB outlets, so you're going to be able to keep your phone charged, you're going to be able to keep your small appliances charged, whatever you might need for a camping trip. And look at how lightweight it is. Anybody can lift this. Or if you want something a little more heavy duty, this is perfect for RV living or van life. This is the Bluetti Elite 200 version 2. My all-time favorite so far, but Bluetti's not done yet. They're constantly innovating, constantly coming out with better, lighter, portable power stations. But the Elite 200 is the one that I've been carrying with me now for over a year. It has a whopping 2,600 watts of power. It's got 4 110 outlets, so I can plug everything into it that I need charged at the same time. It's got USB-C, USB-A, and it has 2,073 watt hours. So this will run my laptop and my Starlink for several nights, depending on the time of year. I can run my Vitamix on it. I can grind my coffee on it. So the Bluetti Elite 200 is definitely something that I like carrying with me because it's compact, it's not too heavy, and it fits nicely inside my RV, and it can power the electronics that I can't keep charged. You know, I have a lot of things that take a lot of power, my Starlink and my laptop, and so it keeps me going even after dark. And then the brand new beast, the beast of a battery. This is perfect for home backup. This isn't something I want to carry with me in my nomad life. It's over 80 pounds, but you can also get this optional trolley for it, which is really nice. It's got 4 wheels on it, so it's not like a dolly. It's got 4 wheels on it, makes it really easy to move around. So if you have the room for it, this is the way to go. The Apex 300 has a whopping 3,800 watts of power and 2,700 watt hours. That's going to last you a long time. You're going to be able to run 99.9% of appliances and tools. The brand new benefit of this latest and greatest Bluetti product, the Apex 300, is that it has built-in 240. You don't need any special cords or any extra batteries. This in itself, all you have to do is switch the switch and you can run 240. What does that mean? Well, if you live in a house and you need a backup power source, you're going to be able to run your well pump or your electric stove. So let me tell you a story. I have been storing these with my mom and her partner, and I left a unit with them that I reviewed a couple years ago, and it's a really big unit, enough to run a house, and I was like, I'll keep this here and you guys can use it if you run out of power. They're like, oh, we've been here 40 years, we don't run out of power, maybe a couple hours here and there. Well, that winter, they had a couple power outages that lasted a couple hours. This past winter, they had a power outage for 19 hours, and the Bluetti was able to run their lives. And I've been telling you, you guys know, power outages are becoming much more common, and things are getting more catastrophic with weather events. 19 hours in 40 years, they never had anything like that. They didn't have the extra connections they needed to run 240, so they weren't able to run their water pump. But now I get to leave this with them, and so they're going to be able to use the electric stove and the water pump. It's got a 30 amp plug, it's got a 50 amp plug, and it's got this really cool power hub that you plug into the side for all your USB ports. So, which one is your favorite? Tell me what your dream Bluetti is. Which of all the units that I have shown you over the last couple of years, which is the one that you want? Leave that in the comments below. And if you are in the market and you're ready to buy, now is the perfect time. Amazon Prime deals start Tuesday. They only run a couple days, so you better hurry if you want to get a great deal on your dream Bluetti portable power station. Use the link in the video description below so that you can get access to their special deals for my audience. All right, thanks Bluetti for sponsoring today's video. My air conditioner, my black tank stinks all the time, and I said, come here, why does this smell outside? It doesn't smell inside, why does it smell outside? He thinks I might have clogged vent pipes, so he's gonna flush them out. Not now, because my tanks are too full. My black tanks are very full, so we're not gonna do it now. We're gonna do it when we go back. Fix my air conditioner, fix my thermostat. My thermostat was sticking a little bit. I didn't know if we could spray WD-40 on it, so he sprayed just a tiny bit on it so that doesn't stick. Wow, what a productive day. I hate sitting in RV shops, but doing this with him was just like not a big deal at all. You know, it was fun. It was kind of fun. And he explained everything to me. He showed me things. Boy, I wish all repair people, period, could be like this. And I thanked him. I said, you know, thank you for explaining things to me and not talking to me like I'm an idiot, you know. But wow, really good experience. It's worth the drive. It's a couple hours, but it's worth the drive. So, all right, I'm gonna go get a couple groceries and go back to my camping spot, plug in and run the AC just because I can. It's about 80 degrees today, but I do have to go back for the awning. So I ordered another awning and I'm having it sent to him, and it's gonna be there tomorrow. So I might go get the awning done tomorrow. Well, yeah, while I'm here. So that means that hopefully not another day at the campground. Very productive day. I feel like we did one more thing. Can't remember what. Well, I just discovered an easier way to clean my black tank. The hose through my vent. So I emptied my black tank, closed the valve, and now it's filling up via the vent. Because I asked him, why is my black tank smelling? It doesn't have a leak, but you come out here and it smells. And I'm like, why? And he said, oftentimes bees and debris and stuff get stuck in the vents up there. So he said he was going to flush it out for me when I go back, but I figured as long as I'm here, I had to dump anyway, I might as well do it. And water seemed to come straight through while the valve was still open, but boy, I really smelled a lot inside. It seemed to kind of unleash some smells, so I'm hoping that was the problem. Pretty new air conditioner. I don't have a vent cap on here because every time I put one on, it just ends up getting ripped off when I go through low branches. So we'll see if that helped. It's time to put the air conditioner to the test. I'm back in my campsite, and I'm going to close everything up, and we're going to see how cold we can get it in here. Okay, we've dropped a couple degrees in about a half hour, and I'm getting cold, so I'm going to turn it off. It's working. I have AC again. Good morning, puppy. Good morning, puppy. Come on. What you been doing up front? Making sure critters don't get us. Come on. Well, it was a nice quiet night here in the state park. And I'm going to stay in the state park. This is the time to do it after Labor Day. So it was a quiet night, but it's almost 9 o'clock. I need to go get some groceries. Oh, well, I need to hit the road. I need groceries and a couple other things I need to do, and I have a couple-hour drive. So Shenango Valley State Park, $30, I think it was. 26 and then taxes and everything. But Chipmunk Bluff Loop. Site 141. The only thing about this site is, you back in, picnic table's here, that's the electric box. It's a good thing I bought an extension cord. Bought an extension cord for plugging in at my mom's house, and I needed it here. I wouldn't have been able to park where I'm at. I would have had to go way over there on the other side of the picnic table. Okay, hitting the road. Also, Jason told me that this brand of sunshade is crap. He said it would have only lasted about a year anyway. So he suggested Suncoast Heavy Duty, which is what I bought. It was twice as much as this. And I don't know what I'm going to do with this now. Save it for someday. I might need it for something, because at this point it's been a year and I ordered it wrong. So I don't think they'll take a return. Could ask, I guess. But Suncoast, yeah. My batteries are not getting charged. Okay, my batteries are not getting charged. He tested my converter. So I just unplugged and I'm at 12.3. Fix one thing, 10 things break. My ABS light also went on yesterday. Alright, that helped a little. So, I have a propane leak detector, which has never worked. And Jason noticed there was no fuse in there. Now, I can't remember if I took the fuse out or if it was out when I bought the RV, and it has never worked. I mean, it's been 8 years. I can't remember. So we put a fuse in it, and I realized last night that I was laying in bed and it hit me that it's probably a pretty big draw on DC. It runs on DC. So I just unplugged that instantly to 12.4. That might have too much of a draw. It shouldn't have that much of a draw. But my batteries did go up a little bit. But still, I think I'm going to have to call him today and see if he can change out my converter. A little update on that. My batteries have been fine ever since I took the fuse out of that propane sensor. So it was a pretty big draw, bigger draw than you would expect. And that means I just need to buy one that runs on like a 9-volt battery or something. I have not had really any issues with my converter ever since. Well, my ABS light went off this morning. It stayed on for a little too long and then it went off. So, which makes me think the first thing I was going to check is fuses. I have fuses down here by my left leg and it's open. So I was going to check the fuses first. Maybe a sensor. Seems like it's always a sensor with this RV. Okay. Feeling kind of blah today. I was all excited. Maybe I put a lot of energy out yesterday. So maybe I'm just kind of feeling the other side of that. And excited to get back to someplace quiet and peaceful. After a couple days back on the road. 2 days on the road and I'm exhausted. And I have a whole cross-country trip coming up. I don't know what route I'm going to take yet. It depends on when I leave here. I planned on leaving here probably November 1st, weather dependent. But I was thinking, I might stay longer if the weather is decent, but I think I'm ready to go. But we'll see. Got a lot going on. A lot going on behind the scenes. So, thank you, State Park. It's a nice state park. I used to ride my bike here. I'm at that age. I used to ride my bike here. Not much. It felt like such a long ride. It was a mile. And it felt so far away. I guess when you're a kid, things before you start driving and before you start running half marathons and hiking 576 miles, a mile seems really, really, really far. Doesn't seem really far to me now. Especially on a bike. I mean, I could walk it in 20 minutes. I could probably ride it in 10. There's a lake here and everything. Never came here. I remember one time coming to the lake with one of my friends. I think we rode our bikes. But of course, I was always the pudgy kid. Didn't like being out in public much in a bathing suit. Especially because I was bullied so much in school. Bullied relentlessly. Relentlessly. Yeah. Horrifically. So, that's my Shenango Valley State Park story. I have a feeling a lot of you can relate to that. How many of you? I want to know in comments. I have a feeling most of you were people like me who were probably bullied or loners or outcasts. It's been a long time since I talked about the island of misfits. I kind of felt like many of us out here on the road were misfits, although not so much anymore. Back then it seemed something subversive, and now it's almost like cool, especially with hashtag van life. But how many of you were bullied in high school? And if you care to admit it, how many of you were mean girls or mean guys? If you used to be one and you realize it now and you regret it, let me know below. I'd love to hear from, yeah, that'd be kind of cool to hear from former mean girls and mean guys. Or do they even realize they were so cruel? So, how many were bullied and how many are reformed mean girls, mean guys? We should all be like Sadie. Huh, we should all just be, you love freaking everybody. You have not met a person you do not adore, huh? Yeah, and you're just happy and free. You just got great life. You got very good life. It's a beautiful morning.
Corporation. that does RV rentals to...
Look at that. We're ready. Look at that. There we go. No, all fingers intact.
Get her, Pip, get her! Junie, not that way.
How do you know when I turn on the camera? They were running in circles and it was adorable.
Come on, guys.
Want to go play? Go play.
Come on, Peppers. Sadie, come on. Get her, Pepper, get her. Junie, come here. You're ruining the fun. Come here. Get her, Pepper. Get her, Pepper. Get her, Pepper. Get her, Pepper.
Woo! All right, we got a new awning. Check it out. It's pretty. I was just joking. It's the only thing on my RV that doesn't have duct tape now. Isn't that pretty? And it matches my RV. The old one was green. I don't know who put a green awning on RV with blue striping. Pretty, huh?
Sure, show my failures.
No. I'm trying to show the tension. That tension is so tight, he's having a hard time getting the pin out. Okay. Do not try this at home. Call a professional.
Right-handed. Let me start over here.
Ta-da! Oh, we've been taping you the whole time.
Oh no! That's
I thought I switched the camera around, but I didn't, so you didn't get to see that. But ta-da! Oh man, I should have got that.
Oh, I'm sorry. We could do it again.
All right, so here we are. We're lifting it. He got it all torn apart. So, oh my gosh, look how easy that was.